It was one of those dreary mornings where the rain seemed to soak right into your soul, making everything feel just a little too heavy to bear. The city skyline blurred under a blanket of gray clouds, much like the fog that had settled over Emily's life. She guided her wheelchair down the quiet hospital hallway, the soft squeak of the wheels, a constant reminder of what she'd lost. Only half a year earlier, she'd been the shining star of the ballet world, the youngest talent to grace the stages of a prestigious New York academy, twirling under bright lights with effortless grace. But in an instant, a careless driver, a rain-slick street, the horrifying crunch of metal, it all vanished. Her spine was shattered, leaving her legs lifeless. Doctors shook their heads. Recovery seemed impossible. Yet the physical pain paled against the isolation that crept in, like a shadow. Friends and family praised her courage, but they couldn't witness the silent tears staining her pillow at night, or the forced smiles she wore to shield her dad from his own despair. Her father, Charles, was a titan in the business world, heading a massive corporation that spanned the globe. He was accustomed to solving crises with his vast resources, influence, and sheer determination. But no fortune could restore her mobility. No boardroom strategy could mend her broken spirit. He'd spared no expensive specialists, experimental treatments from abroad, even transforming part of their sprawling home into a state-of-the-art rehab suite. Still, nothing broke through. Emily retreated deeper into silence, her world shrinking. Two echoes of the dancer she once was. It tore Charles apart. He'd conquered industries, yet here he stood, utterly helpless against his daughter's suffering, desperate for a breakthrough. He whisked her away from the urban chaos, the endless medical appointments, and the whispers of sympathy. They headed to a secluded wellness haven nestled in the rugged mountains, a spot renowned for blending cutting-edge care with soul-deep restoration. It was his final gamble. Up there, the air bit with a crisp chill, the landscape vast and unforgiving, amplifying Emily's sense of vulnerability. The caregivers were professional but detached, treating her like just another case file in their daily grind. But on their third day, as she sat alone on the porch of a rustic lodge, gazing blankly at the fog-shrouded pines, a small boy approached. He couldn't have been more than 6, with a sprinkle of freckles across his nose and a wild tuft of hair that refused to lie flat. He eyed her wheelchair curiously for a second, then met her gaze with an innocent grin. "You look really down," he said matter-of-factly. Emily froze, caught off guard. "Dad says sometimes people who are hurting need a special kind of friend. He helped me after Mom passed away." She stayed quiet, unsure how to reply. The boy pointed toward a nearby glass house, where a man in faded jeans and a simple gray shirt was carefully pruning plants. He had the build of someone who worked with his hands, moving with a quiet assurance that felt solid and When he glanced over and saw Emily, his smile was warm, not laced with pity, but genuine, like a quiet acknowledgement of her presence. That encounter lingered with her through the sleepless night, not from discomfort, but from a spark of curiosity. Who was this guy? The following morning, as she doodled absent-mindedly in her sketchbook, he wandered over. He didn't pry about her art or comment on her frustration. Instead, he crouched down gently, as if approaching a skittish animal, and held out a delicate wildflower he'd plucked from the grounds. "No pressure to perk up," he murmured, "but maybe this brightens your day just a tad." Then he simply left, no expectations attached. His name was Adam, a widowed father who'd once been a skilled therapist in a bustling city clinic. After losing his wife unexpectedly, he'd traded that life for simplicity, relocating to these mountains to give his son a fresh start. By day, he shared outdoor skills and nurtured a modest herb garden. On the side, he offered his time at the retreat. What set him apart, though, was his unspoken talent. He healed hearts before bodies, seeing beyond diagnoses to the human stories beneath. Emily resisted at first, building walls with her quiet rebuffs, sharp retorts, and closed-off demeanor. Adam never forced it. He'd just linger nearby, perhaps reading a book while his boy played in the dirt, or sharing light stories about mountain trails. Gradually, her defenses cracked. She began with hesitant words, then shared laughs, released pent-up tears, and eventually opened up fully. One crisp dawn, as soft light filtered through the mist over the meadows, Adam turned to her and said softly, "I believe your strength is still there. It's just waiting for you to rediscover it, one small step at a time." She didn't answer right away, but his words planted a seed. Soon after, she let him introduce a fresh approach, one that wove in her past passions, rather than relying solely on equipment. He evoked the essence of her old dance studio mirrors, reflecting the space. Swelling symphonies filling the air, even familiar aromas from her performing days. The goal wasn't just physical rehab, it was reigniting the joy her body once knew. The sessions were grueling, filled with setbacks and exhaustion, but a shift occurred. She no longer felt like a broken vessel under repair. She felt seen, valued as she was. For the first time since the crash, during a guided exercise where Adam steadied her, she attempted to rise. Her legs quivered wildly, but they held for a fleeting 3 seconds. Tears streamed down her face, not from defeat, but from a glimmer of possibility she hadn't dared to imagine. Charles was baffled at first. He'd poured endless funds into elite care, yet this unassuming man from a humble background had sparked real change. He cornered Adam one evening, his tone edged with doubt and wariness. "What gives you the right to think you can succeed where experts failed?" Adam met his eyes steadily. "Because I don't view her as damaged goods. I see a resilient young woman who's ready to reclaim her fire." That conversation marked a turning point for Charles too. He learned to step back, to trust in something beyond his control. The road ahead wasn't smooth. There were days of frustration when progress stalled, moments when doubt crept back in, but Adam remained a constant, offering encouragement without guarantees, just unwavering support. He never vowed she'd dance again. He simply assured her she wouldn't navigate the darkness solo, and in those assurances, miracles unfolded. On a vibrant fall afternoon, with golden leaves swirling in the breeze, and the boys' giggles carried on the wind, Emily pushed herself forward. 1 step, then 2, 3, 4, 5, all on her own. Charles watched, his tough exterior crumbling as tears flowed freely. Adam stood by with a subtle nod of pride, and Emily, she gazed ahead, her heart swelling with belief in what lay beyond the horizon, in a world that often feels overwhelming. Stories like this remind us that true healing blooms from connection, from seeing each other's humanity amid the storms. It's a testament to the quiet power of empathy, the courage to try again, and the beauty of second chances. If you've ever felt lost or alone, know that hope can emerge from the unlikeliest places sometimes. All it takes is one person who believes in you. Let this inspire you to reach out, to offer that same light to someone in your life today. What small act of kindness will you share next?